Let's go. I really got the feeling today that everything is going my way. Now this is what I'm talking about. Every time I see your smile, it makes me shout. Let's go! Let's go! Nothing's gonna stop us today. Get on the bus or get out the way. We're cruising with the radio on. So turn it up to 10. Here comes our favorite song. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Hello and welcome to another episode of IoT Tuesday. I am yours truly, Samuel Adjani. In today's episode, we'll be showing you how to connect the gas sensor to an Arduino Uno. This is the basis for our home automation project, which you all unanimously decided we should do. So in the next series of episodes, I'm going to show you how to connect all the individual sensors separately, and then we're going to put all of them together to create our home automation solution. When we come back, I would show you how to do that. Awesome, we are back, we're back. First of all, I want to apologize for the cut in transmission on last week's episode of Functions Friday. Sunday's episode of the Power series. There was some network issues that prevented us from finishing the show. I would try to put it together in a blog post or another video and post up for you to watch. But in today's episode of IoT Tuesday, as you all unanimously selected that we should build a home environmental monitoring system, I will be taking you to the process of actually how to connect your sensors to an Arduino, and then eventually, once we learn how to connect all the sensors, we can use that put together to create our home environmental monitoring system. So stick with me, and then you're going to see how that is done. In the meantime, let me take you to the bench so you can see what we have. So we have here a couple of things we'll be using today. So we have an Arduino Uno, as you can see right here with the blink application running. Where's my pointer? Where's that? So yeah, so there is if you look closely here, you will see that the light is blinking. That's because I've loaded the normal blink application. We have the Seed Studio base shield. This is version 2.1 by Seed Studio. Actually, let me turn this way so you guys can actually see that. Let's bring that in focus. Let me put my finger there so we can focus properly. There we go, right there. Let me actually do this so it can properly focus. Sometimes the camera just needs my finger or something, in view for the focus to work. Yep. Anyways, yeah, so this is the base shield, which allows us to connect all the Seed Studio Groove sensors, as we're going to see. So today, we're going to try to connect one of the gas sensors, all right, to the Arduino, all right, and then see how to read the value. Then in subsequent episode, I'll show you how to connect all the other sensors that we will need to create our home environment management or monitoring system. All right, so let's get right into it. So I'm going to go to the screen and show you how to fire up your Arduino IDE, and how to actually load example Blink applications to make sure it's running. I have another Arduino here. This is Arduino 101, and I'll show you some tips, some tricks on how to set up your various boards. Um, Maybe in next week's episode, I'll show you how to connect the Arduino Mega, which has a lot more input-output ports. So let's get right into this. So I'm going to open. Let me take you here to our screen, and let me open Arduino IDE. So let's see if I can actually zoom this in. All right. So currently, what I have here is the Blink, the default Blink app in the Arduino IDE. As of now, I'm using 1.8.9, which I think is the recent one, I'm sure. If you don't have this, you can, let me show you how to get this. If you don't have the IDE, let me show you how to get that. So you go to Arduino, I think it's .org. Yep. And then once you are in here, it takes actually it's Arduino.cc, forgive me. So you can go in here and go to the software section up here, and then we go to the downloads, and then you can download the IDE. Now there is actually a cloud version or a web version, so you can decide to install it. Okay, so there's 1.8.10, so there's a newer version. Well, I won't take us the route of trying to install this because I don't want to mess anything up. Or you can actually, go for the cloud one. So download this, install this, and then you'll be fine. Now, in most cases, you realize that you might need to have extra drivers for the particular board you are using. And in our case, as you can see, we have the Arduino Uno. All right. So which means that I need to install drivers of firmware for Arduino Uno. Now, let me take you back to the bench. Now have here we have the Arduino. This is Arduino 101. All right, as you can see from here. Okay. Let me bring this a bit closer. I think the light is also being a factor in this, but hey, there you go. All right. So this is Arduino 101. Okay, as you can see from, let's see if I usually if I think if I put my finger in there, it becomes a bit. Yeah, there you go. So this is an Arduino 101. Okay, as you can see from here. All right. So in order for this Arduino 101 to work, we need to set it up in the IDE to know or remember what version of the board it is. Now, so to do this, I'm going to show you how to do that real quick. So one thing you will realize is that the Arduino 101 is Wi-Fi capable. Okay, it's Wi-Fi capable, as you can see from here. It's Wi-Fi capable. We can look at the spec sheet for it. So to connect this, let's do this. I'm going to take this out, all right, and then let me connect this. I like this setup because I can easily connect, the gas sensor like here, immediately connect it here, and then do whatever I want to do right on the Arduino as well. So um, let's just try to first of all set up the Arduino itself. So here I'm going to connect the USB here. This is already connected to my PC. And as you can see, we have the power light on. We don't have anything else going. All right. So it's just this is just as it is. Now let's come back to now a couple of things you need to do when you're setting up your Arduino. First of all, you need to select the board you are using. After you've selected the board you are using, you need to make sure that it's on the correct COM port. Now, how do you validate the COM port or communication port that your Arduino board is using? So I'm going to look for this PC. All right, I'm going to go to properties. Even though the Arduino IDE is supposed to automatically pick that for you, you might have to check this out. So properties, go to device manager, and if you look at the port here, COM port, you can see that there is interactive. So there's an Arduino 101 serial monitor on COM7. All right, COM7. And it looks like, let me update the driver. Let's see. So let's browse computer for driver. Not that I have any driver for it. Anyway, let's say search automatically. Um, So let's see. So I know that it's on comport 7. That's just something I need to remember. All right. So it says that the best driver is already installed. Okay, that's fine. I know the port it is on port 7. So now let's come back to our Arduino application. I'm going to go to tools and then I'll select board and then I need to check if I have Arduino 101. So this is Arduino Industrial 101 and there's Arduino here. I think Arduino Genuino 101. I can select this. Now, if you don't have it, if you don't have it in the list, you can go to tools and then do where is that? Where is that? Where is that? You can do the board, all right, and then click on the board manager. Now in board manager, this is where you can install the various drivers for your Arduino board. So I can go in the top here and search for 101, all right, and hit enter. Now you realize that there is an Intel Curie board, which is the one for 101. It's already installed. There are other, types of Arduino boards here, but this is the Intel Curie for Arduino 101. All right, that's the chipset that is on it. So it's already installed. But in your case, if it's not installed, all you need to do is select the version. All right, if it's 2. Whatever that is, and then hit install. Currently, it is 2.04, which is installed, so I'm fine. But in your case, make sure it's selected and you click install. That's it, as simple as that. Now, most of it comes with some default examples. So let's try first of all to do the basic blink example on the 101, Arduino 101. So I'll go to file, go to examples, and then basic, and then I'll click on blink. All right. Now this should load up the blink code, which I already have. So let's look at this. This is all comment. So first of all, the first step is void setup. So the setup here actually allows us to set up um, our Arduino. All right. So it says that we are initializing the digital pin to be LED. That is a built-in LED as an output. So you can see pin mode is LED built-in, which is the LED on the board. We're not using an external LED. I'll show you how to use an external LED, but for the purpose of today's stream, we're trying to connect the gas sensor. What I am trying to do here is to show you how to set up your boards and prepare it for development. So we set it up. So these are the pins. So here you would, if you were using other pins, okay, or other input output pins, you would define all of them here in the setup. All right. Once that is done, you go into the loop. Now that is how these microcontrollers work. They run in an infinite loop, never-ending loop, and they do whatever you tell them to. So here, if you look at this, the LED built-in pin that we initialize in the setup, we are setting it to high, which is we are turning it on, and then when you turn it to low, it means you're turning it off, and there's a second delay. So that's just it. Now you can click here on the check mark to verify that this code is valid. All right, and you can see a status on the right here. Let me actually show this full screen. You can see a status on the right here, and then down here you can see the response. Now when you're ready to deploy to the microcontroller board or to Arduino, what you do is you hit this upload, click on upload, making sure. Now there's going to be a problem. All right, now what is the problem? If you look down here, it says that Arduino Genuino 101 on COM port 10, which is not the case. When we check device settings, we know that our Arduino 101 is on COM port 7. So we need to change that to COM port 7. So to do that, let's go to tools, and then we select the port. Let's select the Arduino board. Where's the port? Oh, so COM port 3. It's supposed to show all the ports. So in doing that, hopefully, let me do this. Let's try this. Let me close this. Let's do device manager again. Let's go to properties and then do device manager. And this is comport 7, Intel Management Technology, comport 3. Okay, that's because, okay, the serial monitor is comport 7 and Intel Active Management Technology is on comport 3. Okay, let's do this. I'm going to remove this, and then I'll see the changes to the comport. So as you can see, there is nothing on comport 7. It's just showing the Intel Active Management Technology. So now let's connect this and see what changes happen in here. Okay, let's see how that works. It's connected. And there you go. So now we don't have any errors in there. As you can see from here, it's comport what? 7 down here. So now I can minimize this and open my Arduino IDE again. I know it's on comport 7. And then I can go back to tools, go to ports, and as you can see, this is comport 7 for Arduino Genuino 101. I make sure this is selected. And if you look down here, let me make this a full one. If you look down bottom right, you can see that the comport is selected here as comp7. Make sure you're running the Blink application. I can verify this by clicking here. And you can see the status on this side. That's fine. And then I'm going to go ahead and click here on the upload to upload this code onto our Arduino 101. Now, I'm just using Arduino 101 as an example of how to deploy, to deploy that. Okay, so it says try starting download script. Flashing is taking longer than expected. Okay, so let's hit the reset button. All right, let's just hit the reset button. Okay, reset button has been hit. So this is a master reset. I hit the master reset again. Yeah, okay, and then I will try to validate this again. I know I'm still on comport 7 because when I check, yep, comport 7. And then let's upload this again. Yeah, sometimes it gets a bit messier than we think. And actually, this board is something that I have not used in a very long while. So it's possible maybe there's some static thing that has messed it up, but that is how we do. It's still timing out, waiting for Arduino. So you know what? Let's just go back to our Arduino Uno. As you can see, that is working just fine with a blink showing here. Okay, so with this done, let me go back and make sure I reset my Arduino. Make sure I have everything. So this is comport 10. I go back to my tools, the port, and select Arduino on comport 10. I check this code, and then I'm going to deploy to the Arduino on comport 10. All right, and this immediately should go on Arduino on comport 10 and then start running. Yep, there you go. Yep, so as you can see, the Blink app is currently running on our Arduino, right? I mean, quite simple, as you can see. So you can see that this is too much light here. Let's see if I can turn this out this way. Yeah. So you can see that the light is blinking here. All right. So there's a blink light. It starts and it stops. So that is how to set up your Arduino board to do all the setup for you. So now that we are very much aware of how to set up our Arduino board, let's go ahead and then try to connect our sensor. All right, so let's see. Let's change this to 5. Um, let's see. Let me put this on the desktop. Save this. Okay, so I'm just trying to modify. Instead of 1 second here, I'm changing it to 5 seconds so we can see the interval for the light. So I'm going to check this. It seems it's okay. And then I'm going to flash it. Yeah, for some reason, I mean, this Flashing is taking longer than necessary. So let me hit the reset button. So this is comport 10. There you go. I need to make sure that, let's go to tools and go to port. So I know it's comport, yeah, on Arduino Uno. And then let me go to the boards. Okay, so there you go. It's supposed to be an Arduino what? Genuino or Uno. Now, if you don't select the right board and select the right port, you're going to have issues. All right. So let's check this. Uno is Uno on comport 10. And then I'm going to now try again to deploy this application on it. And yep, there you go. So now I've deployed it. And if we go back here, you can see that now the light is actually on. If you look here, the light is on for like 5 seconds. So here, that light turns on for like 5 seconds and goes off for 5 seconds, and then come back on for like 5 seconds. All right, awesome, cool. So that is how you connect your Arduino board to your Arduino IDE. Now, let's move on to the next stage. So now in the next stage, what we're trying to do is that we're trying to connect the MQ2. Okay, we're now trying to connect this MQ2 gas sensor, all right, to our Arduino and then read the value from the gas sensor. Okay, if there are any specific values in there, we want to read them. Now, I'm not using the shield today because um, most of the sensors, the gas sensors I have, hold on, let's see. Um, well, so that we don't change today's topic, this is actually the shield compatible. Let's see. Do I just skip this and then use this sensor? No, you know what? Let's just connect the gas sensor as we detect we wanted to do in earlier submissions. All right. So I'm going to put this away for now. And okay, great, awesome. So let's go back to the bench. So now we have our gas sensor MQ2, and if you remember what the MQ2 is, if you don't, let's go back to let's go back here and let's look at what the MQ2, which is I think that is for LPG and propane. So let's do MQ2 sensor. So we know that let's see. Pa, 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 pam. So hopefully there you go. So the MQ2, as you can see, let me zoom in. All right. So our MQ2 detain is sensitive to smoke and the following flammable gases. So LPG, butane, propane, methane, alcohol, and what? Hydrogen. So if there's any form of alcohol there, the value should change. So the idea is that we're going to connect this sensor to our Arduino, and because it says alcohol, I think perfume should have some form of alcohol in it. So I can probably spray alcohol around it, perfume around it, and then we'll see how that works. All right. So let's go ahead and set this up. So I'm going to close this and open this up. Let's see. All right. So I'm trying to find let's go to Arduino itself. So we follow the steps. All right. I want to show you the steps as to how to do this. Have any questions? Okay, awesome. Okay. Uh-oh. All right. Okay. What is happening? It says I have internet challenges. Okay, that's not the point. So let's see this. So I'm going to go to, so this is what I'm going to do. Let's go on and go to our MQ2 and let's see a schematic. All right, I'm trying to find a schematic for us to actually play around with. That is going to help us um, mess around with it for a while. Okay, so this is the MQ2. Let's see where this one is from. This one is from, okay, so the MQ2 has 4 pins, all right? So first one is the voltage, the ground, and then the 2 is for reading the various gases, all right? So um, if we turn it up, let me show you, let me share the screen. So we're looking at setting it up like this, okay? Where we have the, in this case, where's the AD? Yeah, so AD is here. So the A0 is analog 0. All right, analog 0, digital 0. So that's the AD0. Okay, analog 0, digital 0, the ground, and then the voltage. All right, so we're going to connect it this way to Arduino. So if you look carefully here, the analog pin 0 goes to analog 0, the analog input 0. The digital here goes to our digital pin 2, and then the ground obviously connects to our ground here, and the volt goes to our 5 volts. It's powered by 5 volts. All right. So give me a sec. I'll be right back. Let me grab some jumper cables and let's get right into it. All right. So I'm back. Um, so I went ahead to grab a few jumper cables, as you can see from here. There's a lot of jumper cables around here. So what I'm going to do now is, because of the way the sensor is, I'm going to be looking out for, I'll be using this type of jumper cables. That is the female, let's do it this way. So yeah, the female to male jumper cables. All right. I try as much as possible to try to stick to the color code. So I will use A0. If I get a brown one, that would be cool. Yes, I have a brown one here for A0. And do I have a blue? Yes, I have a blue for the digital. And then I have a black. Can I get a black for, yeah, black for ground, which I have here. And then we'll do red for the power. All right. And I can throw the rest of these things away here. So there's also another set here. As you can see, a lot of them. I could use this as well, but I have them sorted here. So let me get my breadboard. Let me get my breadboard here, as you can see. And before we continue, I want us to take a look at let's take a look at the MQ2. Let's do this. Take a look at the MQ2 fact sheet, all right? So that it would be a lot easier for you. Yeah, let's look at the library as well. Uh, Not necessarily the calibration, but okay, so let's look at these features here. So first of all, So first of all, for the MQ2 features here, it's built-in power indicator LED and low TTL indicator. Operating voltage is 5 volts, which I mentioned earlier on. It can be used to measure or detect LPG, alcohol, propane, hydrogen, carbon, I think carbon dioxide, and even methane. Now, analog output voltage is 0 to 5, digital output is 0 to 5. Um, Preheated. So for some funny reason, this my Christmas hat keeps going off on its own. One of these days, I'm just going to break it apart and throw it somewhere. Okay, let's throw it somewhere so it's not messing around with the show. Now, it can be used as a digital or analog sensor. So it has a digital and analog pins. And then sensitivity of the digital pin can be varied using a potentiometer. Is there a potentiometer on this one? Yes. So this is the potentiometer on that. Let me switch this so you see this. So you see this blue thing. This blue thing here is the potentiometer. So this is what you can use to adjust the sensitivity of the sensor. All right. It's quite small to see, but this is how you adjust the sensitivity. This blue thing here. Hopefully I can get it to focus. Let me put my finger there to see if it's going to focus on my finger. Let's see. Bring it down a bit. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So this is the potentiometer. That. All right. Cool. Okay. Awesome. So the application, as you can see, detects, measure gas leaks, alcohol, propane, and we can actually add a buzzer to it. But today, we just want to be able to detect the readings, and then we can specify whatever we want. So there's a data sheet we can look at here, and then there's actually another instructions here. So let's close this. So now let's go ahead and wire this up. All right, let's wire this up. So let's go here. So using the diagram, using this particular diagram, the analog is brown, which is actually the first one. If I turn it around, let me flip back here so you can see this. If I turn it around and go here, you can see down here that this one here is the analog pin. This one, as you can see, analog digital ground voltage. All right. So let's do this. So I'm going to put this here on the analog. That's the brown one. And then the blue will go on the digital right here. Okay. And then obviously, what's that? Yeah, ground. Ground is going to be black. So let's connect the ground to, and then let's connect the power or the voltage here. There we go. So now the sensor is connected. Now, this is one way to do it. If I wanted to keep the sensor on the breadboard, okay, I could have just used the male to male, this kind of like male to male jumper cables. I could have used this, put it on the board, okay, put it here, put the sensor on the board, and then connect the pins to it. But here I'm connecting to it directly. All right. So let's go ahead. We know that the the brown here is analog, so that goes into the analog pin on the Arduino, and this is the analog 0 of it, so I plug it in here. Hopefully you can see that. Let me bring this up a bit so it's a lot clearer. Now the blue is digital, and we are putting that on digital pin 2 because 1 and 0 is for transmission and receiving. So digital pin 2 here. And then black is ground, so anywhere I see ground I can put it. All right, a couple of grounds here. I can put the ground right here. Okay, and then obviously 5 volts comes in here. So there's a vein, there's a ground, there's a ground, ground, and there's a 5 volt here. All right, so this is connected. So now everything we need is connected. So if you look here, the sensor is now lit. Okay, so yeah, it tells us that it's powered. So now we have our sensor powered. Yep, and it's technically reading, but we are not collecting any information about it yet. So now our sensor is connected at this point. So now let's go in to see how we can change the code. And then we're going to borrow some code from off the internet to use for connecting this. So let's go here. And this is it. I think we have the fact sheet right here. This you need to follow the fact sheet to know how to calibrate it as well. So this is there you go. We're going to get some code in here. This is just giving you the internals of it. So 0 0.5 gives you that information. So we can calibrate the sensitivity, the modules, and all that. So we've connected it, as you can see. We've connected it successfully. Now we're going to borrow this code. All right. So I'm going to actually go ahead and copy the whole of this. All right. And then let's go into our Arduino IDE here. We can actually create a new, place, and let's just clear the whole of this and paste this in there. Let's go over it. So here we are defining the pin, the MQ2. Now realize that we put it on analog A0. All right. So it's telling us this is on the analog A0, as you can see from here. Then the sensor value is just a variable that is going to store this sensor value. It's just going to be a variable to store the sensor value. All right. And then, so like I mentioned, the setup. Now, so the serial, we're going to use the serial monitor to read the data coming from the sensor. All right. This sensor right here, coming from the sensor right here. So, and then the setup, we're opening the serial port, and then we're printing. So once the application starts, we want to say the gas sensor is warming up, and we're delaying for about just about like a few minutes. All right. And then once that is done, we allow the sensor to warm up, and once it's done, we are going to read the gas value into the sensor value from the, as you can see, analog with the pin. And then we're just going to print the value. We're just going to print the sensor value is, and then print the value. And then we're saying that if the sensor value goes above 300, all right, we want to print smoke detected or something detected. This is a threshold. So this is where it makes sense for you to understand or go back and read the fact sheet. So if I can go back here, if you look at the fact sheet, this will tell you the ranges, okay? Sensitivity, what are the values, what will the values indicate, what do they read, and all that. So we are going to consider this in our in our subsequent how do you call it, series. All right. So there we go. So at this point, all we need to do is open the serial port, run the application, and then we see how that works. So let's go here and make sure. And it says that it waits for another 2 seconds for the next reading. So it's not how do you call it? It just doesn't just read continuously. Another thing we could do is that we could say that if this threshold, if it's greater than this threshold, we can use the buzzer. Where is the buzzer? I think I have a buzzer. Yeah, so we can say that when it goes beyond this threshold, you should actually sound the buzzer, or you should now connect to Azure Sphere or something and send a notification. But for now, we're keeping things very simple. All we're trying to do is to be able to read value from the sensors and then put them together in our home monitoring. So I'm going to check this code to make sure it's fine. Let me just save it onto the desktop here. I'll actually be putting the code in a GitHub repo that we all can have access to. So it looks like it's fine. And then I'm going to deploy this onto our Arduino. All right, so that's happening. Let me change this, as you can see. So deployment is happening on application. It's deployed. So now I can go ahead and open the serial monitor. So as you can see, it starts by saying gas sensor warming up, which is what we showed there. So the serial monitor is open. And you can see it says gas sensor warming up, which is, if you look here, is the same information we said it should say, and wait for a few, some few seconds. Okay, now as you can see, sensor value is 168. So it is waiting in 2 seconds interval and is showing the sensor value. So currently the gases in my room right now are falling between the ranges of 168 and between 160 and 168, 164. Okay, now whilst you're checking this out, give me a sec. I'm going to grab like a perfume and I'll spray it and then we'll see if the value changes. I'm back and now I have with me this is a perfume, no ads, it's just a perfume. And then I have this insect repellent. All right, insect repellent. Now let's see. I'm trying to read to see the active ingredients. So this one, let's see. I mean, well, we're going to see what's going to happen. So currently, as you can see, the last value was 1616149. So here I am. I'm going to spray a little of this here. Now look at that. Do you see that? It jumped from 155 to 530. All right? It jumped from 155 to 530. Look at that. Okay? I just sprayed it once. And yeah, it's a mosquito repellent. So please and do this with caution. I don't want you to have all this, splattering all around. So you see that because the value jumped very high, you can see it says smoke detected. Let me actually move this here. So it says that there's smoke detected. Now, this is a sample code. We can actually go back to the fact sheet and look at the various levels, okay? And then I can say gaseous whatever detected. If it goes beyond, we'll say if it goes beyond 300. Now, I am going ahead, I'm going to spray this in the air. And let's see what happens. Now, look at that. It jumps to 383. It jumps to 411. All right, that tells you, says what? Smoke detected. It's because we've gone above the threshold. All right, so that is how we connect the gas sensor. Now this approach is going to be the same for all the other gas sensors. So the connection is the same: analog, digital, ground and voltage. And then depending on what it is, so now in our code, in the final code, we're going to add all of it and then determine um, the various gases they detect. As of now, it looks like my room is still filled with the perfume, so we're still around, 3, 8, and all that. Now, so think about this. So this is what's going to happen when these gas sensors detect these values. So with this, I can go ahead and create an application, all right, that either calls the buzzer, all right, or does something crazy. Okay, let's say if it detects that, it's going to beep. So let's see. Let's actually do that. Okay. So for the purpose of that to happen, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to put on the shield and then connect the buzzer. Okay. And then this time around, what's going to happen is that if it goes beyond 300, instead of just saying it, I want to also let it beep. All right. So let's do that, and then we can call it a day for today. So to do this, let's see. Let's connect this. And because this is going to be connected on that, let me use, so we have the brown, we have the red, We have the blue, and then we have the black. Okay, cool. So all I'm trying to do is that I'm trying to get, because this is going to go on top of it, I'm just trying to get the pins, sorted out before I connect it so that I don't miss the connections. All right. So I know that the blue goes here into the third one. All right. So one, two. Okay, there you go. Yeah. So one, two, three. There we go. And then we know that brown is analog, which is like the end of this. Okay. And then we know that ground is just the second one. And I mean, let me just show you this. I'm just trying to connect all this here. All right. And then our power is one, two, let's see this. So one, two, three, four. So that'll be one, two, three, four. There you go. Okay. So now I can patiently take this out. Okay, take the whole this out, and then actually now mount the shield, the base shield, on top of this. So the base shield is on top of it. Okay, and then I'll just go ahead and just replace. I mean, this is how I do it, but hey, you could do it anyways. That works for you. Uh, yeah, let's move this here. Where's the brown? Yeah, brown is here. So take brown out, put brown back, and then red, red, red is here. I'll take this out, and then uh-oh, what was the ground? Where's the Arduino? So ground, I can have like yeah, one, two, any of them. Okay, so there you go. Okay, so as you can see, it's now connected again. Let me flip to this. You can see the values are coming back. So now what we've done is that now we've connected the gas sensor to the shield. And now let's move this out. Let me get a cable now that will help me to connect the buzzer. So now I'm going to take the buzzer, okay, and let's connect the buzzer as we'll connect any of the sensors. And now let's go to Seed Studio. Now, this is how you go about it. You don't need to have all these things in your mind or in your head. You can always reference these things, okay? So let's go here. Let's go to Seed Studio. And like I mentioned in the last week's episode, all right, um, if you're in Ghana, Nigeria, and very soon in other parts um, of Africa, we are coming up with the Geek Store. Geek Store is your one shop place where you're going to get all these sensors, all the microcontrollers. You can buy them, test them, and see how to use them. So keep following me, keep watching the spaces, keep watching my channel. I will show you, we'll give you more info when the store, officially goes live and you can start purchasing and buying, your IoT components. All right. So once we are in here, let's go ahead and look for where is Arduino. Let's look for let's see what we have. I don't want to do board, so let's go ahead and go to accessories here, and let's go to others. I hope it's not. Oh, no, no, no. Let's go to C Studio right here. Let's go to the shop, and let's go to the Arduino shop. Where is that? Not the boards, not the shields, not the kits. Let's go to others, accessories. Let's go to other accessories. Hold on, let's see. So let's do Seed Studio buzzer. Okay, yeah. So there we go. Open this up. So as you can see, this is the buzzer here, which we have here. We have the buzzer. Okay, connected. This one is version 1.2. All right. So we have the buzzer. Okay. As you can see, you can connect it to any of these, the shield and all that. Okay. So it says connected to, this one is connecting into digital input 6, all right, because now the buzzer is a digitally operated sensor. So you digitally push it high, it beeps, push it low, it goes up. So let's go back here and connect it to digital pin 6, D6. So we have the I squared C here, and you can see D6 is here. So this is D2, D6, all right. So I'm going to connect it to D6. All right, awesome. So now it's connected to D6. So the buzzer is connected to D6. Okay, now let's go back to the code. And this is it. So in pin setup mode, we need to copy this, all right, and bring it into our Arduino IDE. In the pin setup, we need to tell it that we are using, where is that? So yeah, we can define it here as well, okay? But I can say that, well, I will do this here. Let's put it here. Pin mode 6 is output. Okay, I can give it a name. Define what the buzzer, and then put the how do you call it? Um, put the pin here. All right, but we can also define it in the setup. So let's go back. And then what do we do? Now this is it. It's quite simple. Okay, digital write 6 high and digital write 6 low. Okay, so let's come back to our code here and say that this time around, this is the condition. If the sensor value goes beyond 300, we say smoke detected. We run this to say what? High. Is that okay? Else, if it goes below that, we just print space. We just print the sensor value. Okay. And then we just turn it what? Low. Quite simple. All right. So I've made modifications to this code. I'm going to deploy it back to our Arduino board, and hopefully, yep, that's done. So now let's put it to the test. I'm going to take my perfume again here and just spray it here. Oh, let me bring the serial monitor. Okay, well, yeah, there we go. The application is starting up, so let's give it we redeployed it, so let's give it some time to warm up. So sensor value is 2 something. Okay, can you hear that? There you go. So how cool is that? So now you've created an application that when it detects smoke or detects the values above 300, and I'm saying that we're going to calibrate this based on, I think, WHO. There's a standard that determines at what level it becomes bad or toxic for you. So let's try it again. I'm going to spray this again onto it. You check the values and hear the beep. And until it comes down, okay? So the concentration is still a bit high as it's dropping down. All right, awesome. So imagine we have this, and then we have like our mechanical, or sorry, we have our windows or blinds that are automated. What could happen is that it would immediately turn on, let's say, a servo motor to open the blinds, and then immediately start our fan to blow the air out. Now this will also work the same thing for LPG gas. It's unfortunate that there was an incident in Ghana not too long ago where a whole family lost their life because of leaked LPG. So think about this solution. If we can package this solution in a small, device and hang in the house, this could have been a lifesaver. All right. So that is how you connect the sensor. Now this is going to work for any of the other sensors. So realize that if I should change this and put another sensor, that the wiring is the same, the code base is the same. And this is just a simple way to connect the sensor and then beep when the values go up. So till I come your way next week, where we're going to see how to connect the dust sensor Okay, we're going to see how to connect the dash sensor. I am yours truly, Samuel Adrani, and keep following me for more information about the Geek Store, where we are actually going to have access to buy all these sensors and boards that you've seen me use. Until then, let's be safe, let's learn, let's share, let's laugh, and let's make this world a better place. Sign out until next Tuesday. This has been IoT Tuesday.